walking down towards Hancock to get rolled up, because it's the only spot to let a nigga cop roll up. And while we walk down the block, I see three dudes walking up towards us, but they in like the same positioning as me and shit. And homeboy walked by me and he slips his hand in my pocket and I grab his arm and sling the nigga away. I'm like, yo, fam, was popping. And then he reaches for some shit. I peeled off, feel me? I ran on him. So I was tight for the night. We went to go smoke the blunt and shit still. And I didn't speak to the nigga Cisco not one time. Like, I was just, like, I spoke to him, I was just telling him how tight I was and shit. And after that, I didn't even talk to the nigga. I was just tight and shit. So the night's over. Came back to the hood and shit. Cisco came through.
And we walking around, and then we happened to pass by a group of niggas in the park.
And the shout was like, yo, that's your boy? I'm like, I look. And it's homie from last night. And I'm like, yo, that's the nigga from last night, homie. I felt like Doughboy and Boys in the Hood, bro. Like, I was just like, son, did them niggas go right there?
At first, we'd be like, is it even worth it to run down these niggas?
And he just like, yo, you trying to do something? And I'm like, nah, son, I'm just trying to keep good energy for the day. Nah, I mean, I don't need that energy on me right now and shit. They like, yo, you sure? You know we here? And I'm like, yo, you know what? I'm not ass. So I rolled up on him and shit, and I'm like, yo, fam, what's good? What happened last night? Like, what's good? And he like, what? I popped on the nigga and shit, popped on him and shit. We fighting.
Hitting him, boom, like, boom, just cracking his shit. I'm watching them other niggas to make sure no one jumps in. Because if niggas would have jumped in, it would have got crazy real quick.
And he scoops up a fucking thermos. And I'm like, all right, I know this nigga gonna try to throw this shit the best he can.
Yo, nigga picked that shit up and threw it like a baseball. Boom!
And I fucking like ducked down, but not like low enough. So it just fucking cracked me at the top side of my head.
Boom! Yo, that shit was crazy. That shit bursted on his head. Bow, mad liquid and juices was flying everywhere. This nigga off instant, like his head was leaked.
The only thing I smelled was mad beer and blood. And then I was like, yo, Cisco, get me the fuck out this park. I can't see. I can't fight this nigga. Get me out this park.
Now my son is in danger because now he just got hit hard in the head. So first thing I do is niggas like, yo, we off this. They pick him up and I'm going to the store with him.
And I just sat down inside the store, bleeding my ass off. And then the store nigga looking at me and shit. And then he look outside.
And he was like, oh, get out my store. Get out my store. And niggas like, yo, you dead ass?
And you would think a nigga go to the hospital, but we ended up smoking hella blunts and fucking playing Xbox in the living room and shit. And then at a point, I just started feeling hella cold and shit. And I'm like, yo, I'm gonna lay down. So I fucking laid in the middle of his living room floor. And then I looked up, and then I'm getting fucking nauseous and everything in the room starts spinning and shit. And I'm like, yo, if I die tonight, I'm gonna be hella tight if I die because I decided to go to the hospital. So I was like, yo, I'm hella cold right now. I think I should go to the fucking hospital.
So niggas took him to the hospital. And we was there for the whole night a couple hours, like 4 or 5 hours.
And they gave me 2 big ass stitches in my head, in which I had to take out by myself. And shit, yeah.
Why?
I have no idea. I went back to the hospital and I was just like, yo, I came here a week ago. They told me to come back in a week to take him out or some shit like that. And I went back in a week and they like, oh, we can't take them out. And I'm like, why? And she's like, we just can't. I'm like, but you guys put it in. Why can't you take them out? And she just like, we just can't take them out. And I was like, I bet.